الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. أما بعد، today, inshallah, we should read the ninth Naasir and Naasir al-Tasfiyah. Although the mind is heavy, we have to prepare for our own times too. We are reading Sahih al-Bukhari. We got to Kitab al-Hajj yesterday. We took a lot of interest in that Sahih al-Bukhari reading, or we read until yesterday, because we compiled a lot of books. That would have been the third completion of Sahih al-Bukhari. That would have been the third time he is teaching Sahih. If he had completed it, it would have been the third time of teaching Sahih. He started teaching Sahih Bukhari since 1984-85. 84-85 is 62 years. If he had completed, we got to Kitab al-Hajj yesterday. And nothing remains for a human being that is as good as knowledge we have got, because it does not end. When Shaykh Jafar Mahmoud was also assassinated, he had read the Quran also about 3 times or 4 times in his own case, because he was more versatile with the Quran. Jafar Mahmoud, Rahimahullah. And I said it, and I've been asking many people too whether you know anybody in Nigeria after Jafar that knows the Quran like Jafar. Alam Jafar Mahmoud, but he knows Quran. When he's making tafsir of the Quran, if you are a good student of Arabic language, you will learn Arabic. If you are a good student of Hadith, you will learn Hadith. If you are a good student of Qira'ah, you will learn Qira'ah. Of course, we read Quran in Jamia Islamiyah in Medina. He has, I think, a master's degree also from one of the Islamic universities in Sudan. But apart from that, because certificates do not necessarily indicate a person's knowledge and versatility. We all know that when we are in university, not all the professors can teach the courses they teach alike. We know those of them that when they teach, it will be as if they were born with the course they teach. And we know those of them who, when they teach, we know that they are only managing to teach. And that is the course that they profess. So certificates do not necessarily indicate the depth of knowledge. But when scholars and students testify to the knowledge of the scholar, then we understand that he is actually learning. Alam Jafar Mahmoud knows the Quran very well. Very well. And what he does is just comparable to what you will find with Imam Muhammad al-Amin Shinkiti in Adwa al-Bayan. Adwa al-Bayan is a book that was written by, as the scholars say today, the most knowledgeable in tafsir in our times, Imam Shinkiti from Mauritania, where he lived in Saudi Arabia and died there. He titled the book Adwa al-Bayan في إيضاح القرآن بالقرآن. So his tafsir is explaining the Quran using the Quran. Imam Shaykh will explain the Quran using the Quran. This is what Malan Jafar will do. If he picks a verse of the Quran, he will bring related verses to explain words in the Quran. And when he finishes, he goes to Arabic grammar. And then he goes to Qira'ah, the science of recitals of the Quran. Very versatile. Very versatile. Very versatile. And if you listen to the khutbah he gave on a Friday, before the Friday, because he died on a Friday. I mean, Malam Jafar Mahmoud. He died on a Friday during Salatul Subh. In that Salatul Subh, it was the second Raka'ah and the last Sajda. He was on Sajda when he was shot 3 times and he died in his Sajda. He never stood up to say Taslim. So he joined in the company of the scholars who died in Sajda. Amongst them Al-Imam Abu Hanifa. Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, who died in Sajda. One of the scholars has a compilation of the scholars who died while they were on Sajda. One of them was Ja'far Mahmoud. So, and it was on a Friday. And the Prophet said alayhi salatu salam in an authentic hadith that whoever dies on a Friday, whether in its night or during its day, Allah will protect him from the punishment of the day. Whoever dies on a Friday, maybe during the day or in the night of Jum'ah, Allah will protect him from the punishment of the day. So Malam Jafar passed away, and we had not, I tell you this, the Muslim community in Nigeria, we have not recovered from the shock of the death of Malam Jafar. I tell you this. Malam Jafar was a man who, if the entire channel was disturbed, he could go to the radio and say, everybody go and sleep, and everybody will go and sleep. You know that kind of a scholar who has reputation and who has a faith. Not every scholar has reputation and then faith. You know what I mean by a faith? You can say, government, you don't want to. Or people sit down, they will sit down. People stand up, they will stand up. So he was taken away. This same man who was killed overnight was the one who gave birth, who gave the funeral bath of Malam Jafar. So you can see today, he is being given back. What he did about 5 years ago, they are doing it for him. So that is how the life is. We will just leave it and we will do it. Just somehow. At the time perhaps we are not expecting to go. Yes. Usually. That is how death comes. Death comes at the time that we are not expecting that we will die. It just comes baghtatan as Allah says. Ij'atan. It will not tell you that. It will not have expected, because one of the brothers said to me that he said to them that this morning they have to start a book after Salatul Subh. That we meet tomorrow, inshallah, we'll start reading that book tomorrow. That is this morning, not knowing that by this morning he will be in his grave. So that is how life is. That's why Allah said to us, He said, "Fastabiqul khairat." Make haste to do good deeds. Make haste to do good deeds. Because you never can tell which one will be your last. So somebody just finished a good deed and is telling the people, don't worry, tomorrow we'll do another one. Good times. Good times. And like I said, Ismail and Jafar, for him, give it in terms of books. And I've said this many times, even when he was alive. I've never seen any scholar in this country that has books as he has. Books. Why Mala Albani has books. Ah, books. 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 And not just having the books. Allah, by the time he starts talking to you, he fills you up. He will load you within few minutes. He will load you up with information. If you say so person said so thing, one, he will give you 10 who said it. So said it, so said it. If you are a listener of this, he has books he read, listen to his works, listen to his teaching, his classes. They are full of lots of benefits. All these do not mean that human beings don't have errors. How would we have known that they are human beings if they do not have errors? How? Apart from the Messenger alayhi salam. And that is even in the matters of revelation. Otherwise, it's a human being to alayhi salam. The Messenger is a human being. He says, قُلْ إِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ. He's a human being. He even said in the hadith, that's the verse of the Quran. In the hadith he said, إِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ فَإِذَا نَسِيتُ وَذَكِّرُونِي. He was reading in the Salah and he made a mistake. People kept quiet. After the Salah he told them, أَنَا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ. I'm a man like you. Answer, come out and so. I forget as you forget. فَإِذَا نَسِيتُ. When I forget, فَذَكِّرُونِي. Remind me. The Messenger alayhi. Those are the evidences that the Prophet was a human being alayhi, who can forget. The only one who doesn't forget is Allah. That was why it was the rod Musa alayhi salam gave to Fir'aun. When he asked him, who is that Lord? Is La yadhillu Rabbi Alaya. My Lord, La yadhillu. There is not a time Allah was ignorant of anything. No. His own knowledge is not a knowledge that is preceded with ignorance. He says to us, Allahu alladhi akhrajakum min butuni ummahatikum la ta'lamun. When we came from the wombs of our mother, what did we know? That was when we were accorded professorial degrees. Was that when we had PhD? لا تعلمون شيئا. النكرة في سياق النفس تفيد العموم. شيئا, an indefinite noun coming in the context of a negative. La, it will indicate that what Allah is saying is that you don't know anything at all. La ta'lamuna shay'a. So, as human beings, creatures, our own knowledge is preceded with ignorance. But the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not preceded with ignorance. That was why Musa told Fir'aun that, La yadhillu Rabbi. Then our own knowledge also is followed by forgetfulness. No matter how knowledgeable a person is, wallahi, we will forget. Human beings, we forget. If we don't forget, we will not be able to live. How many times have we been so sad that we can't sleep? If Allah does not make us forget that thing that makes us sad, we will not be able to sleep forever. And that's why when a person suffers from any psychiatric illness, the drug they will give him is the drug that will bring zuhul to him, that will make him feel as if he doesn't know what to do, so that he can sleep, so that he can forget that sadness and sleep. To forgetfulness is that how many times do we have things that we don't like to recall? We forget. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala liars. So you see, these two things come with the knowledge of Allah, indicating that the knowledge of Allah is indefinite. It knows no bounds. It does not have a starting point, and it does not have an end. It does not have any point where Allah didn't know something, and it does not have a point where He will not know something. This issue we are explaining is a serious issue of Aqidah among the Shia and other deviant groups of Muslims. But what we are saying is that these people we talk about, they are not ma'asumin. They are not people who don't make mistakes. But that aside, they have a lot of good things that the people have done. And I tell you, a If you go to the north, not even in the north, any Hausa locality, if they are listening, 5 people are listening to cassette. 3 of those 5 are listening to Tafsir of Jaffa. I tell you, even Achaba, they put cassette on Achaba. You see somebody riding Achaba, you'll be hearing, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Jaffa is explaining for us. So they left those things and went to it. They left their children, they left their family, and they went to it. Because it was time, ikhwa. That is where you should fix your mind. It will give you rest of mind. If you say that is the time, and actually that is the time, because there is not any one of us except that the time of our death is fixed. It is fixed. It is written. The Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, on the 3rd 40th day, it says, ثُمَّ يُرْسَلُ إِلَيْهِ الْمَلَكُ. Thereafter, the angel will be sent to us in the womb, 120 days. فَيَنْفُخُ فِيهِ الرُّوحُ. This angel will blow life into the person by the command of Allah. وَيُؤْمَرُ بِأَرْبَعِ كَلِمَاتٍ. And that malak is ordered to do 4 things, 4 words. The takbirin fihi, you should write all the arzak. Every kobo you spend, my brother, is written before you came out of the womb of your mother. Rizqihi mufradun mudaf. Yufidu aydan al-umum. Rizqihi, all the arzak that you spend is written, including the air you will breathe, including the water you will drink, including the food you will eat, including every risk that Allah will give you is written. Every naira and kobo you spend is written, brother. Because rizqihi wa ajalihi is our ajal, our lifetime, the span of time we spend is written. From when we were in the womb. This man died now at age 54, that is what is written. From inside the womb, وَعَمَلِهِ, his deeds, his actions, how will it be, good or bad? وَشَقِيٌّ أَوْ سَعِيدٌ, whether he is going to be shaqi, wretched, or sa'id, successful. May Allah count us amongst us. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu, فَوَاللَّهِ الَّذِي لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا, I swear by Allah, besides whom nobody is worthy of worship. إِنَّ أَحَدَكُمْ لَا يَعْمَلُ بِعَمَلِ أَهْلِ النَّارِ. Each of you, or one of you, may be acting, behaving like the people of the fire. حَتَّى مَا يَكُونُ بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَهَا إِلَّا ذِرَاعٌ, such that it will be بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَهَا, what is just left for him to enter that fire. كَانَ يَعْمَلُ عَمَلَ أَهْلِ النَّارِ, he was acting the works of the people of fire. It just remains a handspan for him to enter that fire. فَيَسْبِقُ عَلَيْهِ الْكِتَابِ, what is written for him will come in front of him. فَيَعْمَلُ بِعَمَلِ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ فَيَدْخُلُهَا, it just changes and begins to act like the people of Al-Jannah and enters Al-Jannah. Where I grew up in the south, there is a boy we call Muhammad. This boy lives 4 houses away from us. We grew up together. So when we go to school, he goes to play football. In a nutshell, he dropped out of school and started taking Indian hands. We all became afraid of him. When we play football, if there's an argument, he brings knife, he brings dagger, he brings, those kind of boys. Because he takes Indian hands. His name was Muhammad. My elder brother has had to go and appeal. His father takes him to the prison to lock him up. My brother has had to go and appeal to the father, please release him many times. To the extent that when his father sees my brother, he says, you come again. You want to plead on Muhammad to him. His father. He was so troublesome, this boy. Recently he died. My younger sister said to me that before he died, about 6 months before, it was as if something he was tied down, he got loose. When someone was tied down, he gets loose. He just changed overnight. Comes to Salawat, he was performing it together. To the extent that, with the people, to the extent that somebody saw him and said, Muhammad, say, I used to smoke. He said, I can't smoke again. A'udhu billah. Allah does not like smoking. After almost 25 years in that nonsense. Brothers and sisters, the brother died, Muhammad, after marriage and performing Khamsu Salawat and stopping alcohol and Indian hemp and pickpocket. The last time I went there, he met me. We met at a bus stop. I could not greet him. He could not greet me. You know, because there's a barrier now. He see me, Ustaz, he can greet me. Because if he wants to greet me, there's a way he should greet me. You know, when you grow up with somebody in the same line. He can't talk to me and I could not talk to him. But I was scared of him. It's a very funny person. He can do and undo. Muhammad can do and undo. So what is written for him comes in front of him. فَيَعْمَلُ بِعَمَلِ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ. He begins to change and do the deeds of the people of Al-Jannah. And then he enters Al-Jannah. Because إِنَّ الْحَسَنَاتِ good deeds cancel out evil deeds. Cancel out. He said again, alayhi salam, وَإِنَّ أَحْدَكُمْ لَيَعْمَلُ بِعَمَلِ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ. Some of you may be doing the acts of the people of Al-Jannah. حَتَّى مَا يَكُونُ بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَهَا إِلَّا ذِرَاعٌ. But that what is just remaining for him to die and enter that Al-Jannah is just an arm's length. فَيَسْبِقُ عَلَيْهِ. So what is written for him overtakes him. فَيَعْمَلُ بِعَمَلِ أَهْلِ النَّارِ فَيَدْخُلُهَا. He changes, like the person will give an example. That woman performed Hajj 17 times. She became a Christian. سَبَقَ عَلَيْهَا الْكِتَابِ. So Allah says, the Prophet said alayhi salatu wasalam, that what is liberating also is whether that person is shaqiyyun, wretched, or what? Sa'id, successful. So we beg Allah to count us amongst the successful. We beg Allah to count our siblings and generations amongst the successful. When we will die, because we all shall die. Sometimes when they say to the messenger, we will kill you, we will kill you. Allah said to him, Afa innita fahumul khalid. If, yes, they say you will die, we will kill you, Muhammad sallallahu. They say that to him. Allah says, tell them, Afa innita. So if you die, fahumul khalid, does it mean they will live forever? The Prophet died, alayhi. So if the Prophet had died, those who are threatening him, did they live forever? The same thing if you kill a person, it doesn't mean you will live forever. If you kill someone, it doesn't mean you will live forever. It doesn't even mean what you kill him for, you will achieve it. It doesn't mean. Wallahi, it doesn't mean. Al-an qad mata al-insan. This person has died now. Those who kill people carry the burden of those they kill. Allah told us in the Quran, says, وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِ نَبَأَ أَبْنَيْ آدَمَ بِالْحَقِّ إِذْ قَرَّبَا قُرْبَانًا فَتُقُبِّلَ مِنْ أَحَدِهِمَا وَلَمْ يُتَقَبَّلْ مِنَ الْآخَرِ قَالَ لَأَقْتُلَنَّكَ. Allah says, tell them about the story of the two children of Adam. When the both of them قَرَّبَا, they put forward qurbanan, acts of worship that will bring them close to Allah. فَتُقُبِّلَ مِنْ أَحَدِهِمَا, it was accepted from one of the two. وَلَمْ يُتَقَبَّلْ مِنَ الْآخَرِ, and it was not to be accepted from the second one. قَالَ, this second one said, لَأَقْتُلَنَّ, I will kill you. Allah now said, إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. The only people whose deeds Allah will accept are those who do those deeds for the sake of Allah alone. Always add alone. Not don't say I did it for the sake of Allah. You can do it for the sake of Allah and for the sake of another thing. When you do good deeds, brothers, do it for the sake of Allah alone. The brother now said to him, لَإِنْ بَسَطْتَ إِلَيَّ يَدَكَ لِتَقْتُلَنِي ما أنا بباسط يدي إليك لأقتلك إني أخاف الله رب العالمين. If you stretch your hand to kill me, I will not stretch my own hand to kill you. Because أخاف الله, I fear Allah, if you don't fear رب العالمين. So what did he say? إني أريد, because what I want, أن تبوء بإثمي, for you to carry my sins, وإثمك and your own sins, فتكون من أصحاب النار, so that you can be among the people of the fire. If you kill me, you will carry your sins, and whose person sin? My own. Kill me, you carry my sin, you carry your own too. A little young boy asked me today, this person that is killed, does it mean he will be free in his grave? I said, yes, by what Allah told us. Say how? I said, because Allah said that person who killed him will carry his sin. On the day of Qiyamah, he will be holding you about. What did I do? Why did you kill me? Let's go to Allah. You killed me, my life you took it. Let's go to Allah. So those people who kill people are in trouble on the day of Qiyamah. The innocent man is going his way. We read in the newspapers that government gave the court ruled about a month ago. The court ruled that because about 2 years ago or thereabout, they had said that there was a bombing in Kaduna or Zaria that he was involved. They brought out the boys. We read this in the newspapers. So don't think there's any hidden knowledge. It's in the paper. When they paraded the boys, they said they don't know him, they've never seen him before. And him, from amongst the things Allah has created him, is a very strong-minded person. So he went to court. He took the government to court and asked for damages of 15 million or so. They gave him 500,000. He said, no, you held me for 6 months. You think I'm an idiot? You give me 500,000? So that was a case. That case is still pending in court. That 500,000 is too small. Now, he now took them to court again that they should stop harassing him. They should stop disturbing him. The SSS should stop inviting him. And the court, after weighing the case here and there, it's in the papers. They said the SSS must never invite him. They must never go to his house. They must never interrogate him. They must never. The court counted what the people must not do to him. That is innocent. They must never mention him in connection to anything called these issues we talk about. So what is left? If the man was guilty of something, the court says he's not guilty. So you now thought you could find him guilty by all means. The khusuma is with Allah on the day of Qiyamah. Yes. It does not end there. We have just started. And the life of this dunya is small. 54 years is small. In the hereafter it is thousands of years. Yes. So it's just a beginning. He started a new life today, 10 o'clock this morning, when he was lowered into his grave. He has started another life. Completely new life. Completely new life. But there, the money you spend is the knowledge you had acquired, the ibadah you had done, the teachings you had done, the salat you have performed, the hajj you had performed, and all that. That is the money you will be spending there. So if you don't have what to spend, what do? May Allah give us what to spend there. So there, brothers, as he has gone, somehow, someway, we will go to. He said, alayhi salatu subhanahu wa ta'ala, innaka mayyitun wa innahum mayyitun. Innaka mayyitun. Muhammad alayhi salatu, you will die. Wa innahum mayyitun. They will die too. Presidents die. Slaves die. Servants die. Secretaries die. People die. House of Assembly die. Army general can die. Everybody can die. Death is for all. It's a debt we owe. We all shall pay. We all shall pay. But you should make sure nobody's life goes out from your hand. That is your own. Nobody's life should go away from your hands. Because when it happens, you'll be in trouble. Even your mind will not rest. Except that those people don't want to know their mind. May Allah protect all of us. So we should understand that when scholars die like this, those people who kill them are the worst enemies of the people. Because they took away people who will guide them. So the people will live like animals. I tell you, when scholars die, what did the Prophet say, alayhi salam? He says, Inna Allah la yanzi'u al-ilma an sudur al-ibad walakin yanzi'u al-ulum biqabd al-ulama. Allah will not take away knowledge by removing the knowledge from the mind of the scholar. No. Lakin knowledge will go biqabd al-ulama, by him, Allah, taking away the scholars away. We said one died 6 years ago. We are still suffering from it. I told the brothers then, I said before we see another Ja'far, we need 25 years in Nigeria. I tell you, to produce another one, you need an 18-year-old boy who will not do anything for 25 years to gain that level of scholarship. Where is it? And now we are still suffering from that, and another one happened. So how many years now, double? May Allah forgive our dead people. May Allah forgive the dead people. And then the boy and the mother and the child. May Allah forgive the dead Muslims. The mind is really, really heavy, except that Islam gave us many palliatives, many things to calm down ourselves. Imam al-Shafi'i, Rubai ibn Sulaiman, one of the students of Imam al-Shafi'i, Imam al-Bayhaqi reported that in Manaqib al-Shafi'i. Rubai ibn Sulaiman said, Su'ila al-Shafi'i an al-Qadr. Imam al-Shafi'i was asked about Qadr. And he said, Rahimahullah, that ma shi'ta kana wa illam asha' وإن لم أشأ وما شئت إن لم تشأ لم يكن خلقت العبادة على ما علمت ففي العلم يجري الفتى والمسلم. He said رحمه الله ما شئت كان. Oh Allah, it is what you want that happens. It is what Allah wants that happens. وَإِن لَمْ أَشَأْ, even if I don't like that thing. وَمَا شِئْتُ, if I like something. إِن لَمْ تَشَأْ, if Allah does not like it, لَمْ يَكُنْ, it will not happen. So if something happens, it happens because that is the wish of Allah. Allah has wished it to happen like that. And that happening is according to the knowledge of Allah. So that's why it says, خَلَقْتَ الْعِبَادَةَ عَلَى مَا عَلِمْتَ. You have made the creatures عَلَى مَا عَلِمْتَ, based on your knowledge. And that is the second level of qadar, al-ilm. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ قَدْ أَحَاطَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عِلْمًا. The second level of qadar is that, the first level of qadar is that Allah knows everything. It says, فَفِي الْعِلْمِ, that's your knowledge with which you created everything. يَجْرِي الْفَتَى وَالْمُسْلِمِ. In it, the young boy and the old will proceed according to that knowledge. Both the young and old will proceed. Everybody will proceed. He has proceeded according to that. We will proceed to according to that. Because everybody has his own time. Now he has gone before us. Our own time will come. Whether we want it or not. Whether we want it or not. Our times will come and we will go. What we want is to go with Iman. To go not having anybody's blood on our necks. To go not having anybody's material on our hands. Yes, not having people's rights on our hands. not having people's blood on our necks. Successfully really who goes like this. May Allah count us amongst them. Not having people's rights, people's views. That is, not having, being unfair to people in the dealings with them. Because yes, every wrongdoing will be darkness for that zalim on the day of judgment. May Allah save us from that and protect us. So when our time comes, may Allah, I was told that the entire city was filled with people. I was in Kano when Malam Ja'far died. And I was away now from Zaria when Malam Al-Albani died. And I was told reliably that everywhere was filled up in Zaria. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal used to say that اليوم العهد بيننا وبينكم يوم الجنازة. He used to tell the people of innovation, on the day you die, on the day we die, we will know who is upon the truth. Yes. Somebody asked Shaykh al-Albani, Sif lana man al-Albani, tell us who is Albani. فإذا مات al-Albani يعرف al-Albani. The day that Albani dies, you know who Albani is. The real Albani himself. So the day that I die, when I die, that is when you know me. It means he was really a man. A man is telling you that you don't know me now. Don't worry, when I die, you know me. Some people want to be known when they are alive. We don't know them. Are those that we will know when they die? Both their life and death doesn't have any meaning to us. But these people are telling us, don't worry, don't let me be telling you. When I die, you will know who I am. So death is one of the things with which Allah honors scholars with. When they die, you see people crowd their janazah. And what did he say, alayhi salam? So when 40 pray on the janazah, Allah will forgive that death person. So you see thousands, tens of thousands performing janazah on the dead learned person. I think was it Harun or one of the past, or Ma'mun, one of the past rulers in the Muslim world. One of the scholars, if I'm not mistaken, Darukutni or one of them, was entering the city. The whole city was moving. The man was asking, what's happening? The same scholar, who is that? So and so person. We that we are kings. If we want to go out, people don't come out like this now, except we mobilize them. So they say, go and mobilize from grassroots. So the people be asking them, give us money now to mobilize. Have you? The meaning money to bribe the people to come out. But when the ulama wants to be seen, people come out willingly. We want to see Shaykh. We are going to Janaza of Shaykh Ulam. Not by invitation. If you know anybody who went to that Janaza, ask him. They did not invite him. I'll tell you. But he will feel an obligation. But when those people go or pass by, you don't have obligation. The security will not even allow you rest. Before and all that. اللهم احسن عاقبتنا في الامور كلها واجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الاخره. Allah forgive the dead mistakes. It's really, really saddening. Very sad. I usually feel bad. Okay. If you are very conversant, let's just go a little bit. If you are very conversant with what is happening in the world, you know that there are a lot of differences, issues of differences. This one is a mubtadi, this one is a kafir, this one is this one is that. The scholars passing the ball. This one says this one is so, the other one says that one is this, the other one says this one is that. But when the big scholars were around, when Shaykh Bumbaz were around, Ibn Utaymi was around, Shaykh Al-Albani was around, Shaykh Rabi, Shaykh Madkhali, Shaykh Muqbil Al-Wadi'i, and all these big scholars were around, there was no trouble. When there was a trouble, they queried down, because the people will carry the matters to them. Wallahi, the greatest asset in the Muslim community are the scholars. Everybody needs them. The king needs them. The people need them. Everybody needs the scholars. So when they are not there, what happens? You see, the people behave like animals. That's why you find when the people wanted to cause evil in the parts of Nigeria that they caused evil, what do they do first? They kill the scholars first. When the scholars go, anything can happen. Nobody will say, what you are doing, Allah says that it is wrong. No, when nobody to say that, so what do you expect? Nobody to say, what you did now, Allah doesn't like it. Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ. Nobody to tell people this. That Allah says, don't take a soul. The people who will say, the first of all, eliminate them. Don't think it is the enemies of Islam that are doing it. It's a very deadly one they are blowing. It's the enemy. It's a deadly blow they are giving us, if we know. Giving very deadly blows. So all the students who attended the class yesterday, wallahi, they can double us 50 times. I tell you, if you go to his class in Zaria, lot of students learning, everybody with his book. So now, all those people now, who will sit down and start studying? Everybody starts looking for what will we do now? Stars has gone. So, and our religion cannot progress, brothers and sisters. Our religion cannot progress without knowledge. I think somewhere around here people say Imalolet. Are we? So all the people who will pass the knowledge on, when they take them away, what will happen? Adini will come down. For me, as an individual, that's more saddening than the person himself. Yes. It's more saddening. It's more saddening than the person. Human beings are human beings come and go. And every one of us will go. But who is going is the issue. Who is going? When the Prophet died, alayhi salatu salam, that's the kind of thing you see that the companions felt. Fatima radiallahu anha was asking them, how did you people feel to pour sand on top of the Prophet Muhammad? Alayhi salatu. Do you understand? The Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salatu, they had loved him and they loved him more than themselves. Allah said so. النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was more beloved to the companions than themselves. They loved the Prophet more than they loved themselves. Yet when he passed on, they had to get, Anas ibn Malik said, it was as if the whole of Medina was dark. He said it was opposite what happened the day he came to Medina. That day it was as if the whole of Medina was littered, lights everywhere. Medina. Why? Muhammad had come. And the day he died, it was as if there was no sun. As if we are not even seeing ourselves. Why? The Prophet Muhammad had died. But one of the women turned the heads of the people, apart from the statements of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu. She said, she said her own cry that she is dropping tears. It's not because the Prophet died, just that one. It is because from today, revelation will not come from heaven again to mankind till the day. Because it's the last of messengers. So that's what me I'm crying. So God will not talk to mankind again. God will not talk to us again. That is why she was crying. So today it's as if the people in Zaria will say, what's remaining now? It started the school there. In nursery and primary school, boys and girls, boys separate in the nursery school. boys separate, girls separate. In the secondary school, boys separate, girls separate. Primary, boys separate, girls separate. With hostel. I know what? In the secondary school, they are not teaching anything except science. Science academy. That's what they want. Only science. And after JS3, they will spend 1 year to memorize the Quran. It's part of their own curriculum. After JS3, 1 year, 1 whole year for Quran and Arabic. Before you continue with the but in it all, هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره الكافرون والله بالغ على أمره ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. May Allah protect us, make it easy for us. May Allah forgive him too. And I always say, the time that we will go to, may Allah make it upon Iman. We always say, may Allah make our death to be easy. I tell people, I say, which death is easy? The one you would lie down in the bed, or which one? Which death is easy? The one you lie down in the bed? It is very painful. May Allah protect us. If you ask me, how do I know? Have I died before? I have not died before, and I could not have died before and come. When the person dies, he goes. And Allah puts between that dead and the living a barzakh. La yabghiyah. But the Prophet Muhammad, he said death is difficult. While he was dying, the Prophet Muhammad, while he was dying, in his last moment, he said, death is difficult. And he was said to be made easy. And yet, with his patience, he said death is difficult. He died on the bed. Because when a person is dying, the life goes out from the legs first, then the knees, then the waist, then up. The last place where life leaves the body is the mouth. That is the reason why when people die, their mouths are open. And he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, that the eyes will be following the life as it goes away. So that's why the eyes are also open. It happened to him like that. Alayhi salatu. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq was the one who came, opened the cloth from his face, used his hands to cover his eyes, kissed his forehead, and then closed him back. So when you see a person dying or just dead, close his mouth, cover his face. If it's a good power person, kiss his forehead. You will notice one thing. You are likely to see him sweating on his forehead. It is one of the symbols of Husn al-Khatimah. The Prophet said it, alayhi. One of the symbols of good death, a person has died well, is that you see sweat on his face, here, on his forehead. You see sweat there. So death is difficult. The one who is caught, maybe in a battle, come. He just finishes, come once. If it's a car accident, come once. Then he just died on the spot. But the other one dies over time. So which one is good? You will not be left with saying that death is death. That is the only thing you say. Death is death. What about saying, I don't want to die every accident. You don't want to die inside water. You don't want to die inside well. You don't want to die when you sleep before the next morning. You don't want to die in your farm. You don't want to die when driving your car. So when do you want to die? Where? Suggest. Suggest where and when. So you see, the only conclusion reasonable will be left with is that let us prepare for death. Whenever and wherever May Allah make us die upon Iman and accept us. Because some people, لا تفتح لهم أبواب السماء حتى يلج الجمل في سم الخياط. When their souls, because the Prophet told us in a very lengthy hadith reported by Imam Ibn Majah in his Sunan, Imam al-Nasa'i, Ashab al-Sunan, very lengthy hadith. The Prophet told us, how does life go out of human beings? He says when the life goes, the life of the mu'min comes out from his body the way we pour water from the kettle. As difficult as we describe it. So how will the death of a kafir be? That's why if you see some people in the hospital, they will poo-poo. You know poo-poo? They will defecate. Because of the difficulty. Some of them will vomit. Some of them will be saying nonsense. So for the mu'min, the life comes like the way you pour water from the kettle. You know the way the water flows. Yes, it's difficult. Said after that, the malaika who came to take the soul, they will put that soul on a nice tray with some perfume, and they will take it to the heavens. And as they ascend the heavens, the malaika will be asking them, who is he? They say, the son of so, the son of so. They come on, and the soul will be hanging in the heavens. It will go. It will be waiting for the time that that person, the body will be put in the grave. And when the body is put in the grave, Allah commands that soul to go back to the body. The Prophet Muhammad, when he said this, the companions asked him, are you saying that as we are now, that is how we will live in the grave? He said, yes. As we are now, living, hearing, seeing, smelling, hearing, looking, feeling pains, that is how we will be in the grave. But those who are alive will not see us like that, because we are in a different world. Otherwise, we talk. How do we do? May Allah make our grave a place of peace for us. Sometimes when you think about the grave itself, you are held in tremor. Grave, this person who died today has a huge mansion he just finished. Huge, I tell you, huge. He will not sleep inside this place. He will sleep inside ground, 6 feet. That is how each of us will go. But if it were a soul of a kafir, when the angels take the soul away and take it to the heavens, say, whose soul is this? Say, the soul of so kafir. They say, no road here for kafir. The soul of the kafir will not go into the heavens. It will be hanging between the earth and the first heaven. Yes. And unfortunately for them, they keep the dead in the morgue. The body is in the morgue, the soul is in the morgue. Up there. The body is down here. So that's how the two will be suffering. The body is suffering, the soul is suffering. The soul will be suffering there. Hands suspended. For as long as the people will think that they want to honor him with a befitting burial. Befitting? Kafir, befitting? Wallahi, they don't know what they say when they say befitting. Befitting? Inside jail, when Munkar and Nakir appear to him, that is the befitting. And the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, they smashed his head with iron bar. He said, alayhi salatu wasalam, every creature of Allah will hear the sound of his shouting, yea, unless mankind and jinns. He said, were it not that I fear that you will stop burying your dead, I would have begged Allah to make you see what is happening. Because the Prophet was given the opportunity to see some. Alayhi salatu wasalam, yes. There is nothing like befitting burial for a kafir except deception. Befitting deception. So brothers and sisters, fastabiqul khairat. I should make efforts to improve upon good deeds. You too should make efforts to improve upon good deeds too, because we never know when the time will come. People say death is sufficient sermon. If we start reading Nawaqidul Islam, man intaqada anna ba'dana, it will not be like reminding you, look here, you die soon, you die anytime. Nobody knows when his time will come. Yes. Nobody knows. They say 10 people were touched with the bullet, Sabi. 3 died. He himself got to the hospital before he finally, like people say, gave the ghost before he finally died. The 7 others were just having bullet wounds because their time has not reached. Their time has not reached. But those people whose time had come, they were what? Taken away. Your time has come. Let each of us go back and see whether we are ready. When the time will come, when our individual times will come, Allah alone knows. Some of the scholars, Al-Imam Hammad ibn Zayd, Hammad ibn Salama, it was said that for 20 years he was waiting for death. That maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. It was said, if you ask him, you are dying tomorrow, so okay, I'm ready. 20 years. 20 years. He was prepared for the time that Allah will take his life. They say he didn't have any extra nafila to do. We now they say, oh yeah, prepare. He say, oh, let me do my last nafila. Inshallah, Allah, please. And in that nafila, what many people say is that, make me know this today. Now give me some more time. Give me some more time. Give me time. One of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, in the early days of Islam, I wouldn't remember his name, but the hadith is in Sahih Bukhari. They wanted to kill him. He told those people, just wait for me. Let me make 2 rakats of nafil. He made the 2 rakats of nafil. He said to them, were it not that you would think that I'm using these 2 rakats of nafil to escape, I would have prayed longer because I'm enjoying the 2 rakats of nafil. But you would think that I'm escaping, I'm prolonging the time. So, let us all start making those rakats now. Main fences. You understand what I mean? Main fences. You have brothers, you have relatives, father, mother, wives, husbands that you are in disagreement with. Settle it now. Before the time that you will not have the opportunity again. Settle it now. When you owe debt, pay it now or record it. When people have rights with you, give every person his or her rights with you on your neck. Before the day you will not be able to give anybody anything. Your children, your wives, their duties, you owe them. Begin to fulfill it. Because those things Allah will ask about it. How did you handle your wife? How did you handle your child? How did you handle your work? How did you handle everything I have given you? ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. When you ate and got filled, what did you do? You performed salah. What did you do with your time? You were watching football. Those football matches, what do you think it will do for you? Positive or negative? When they say go, you are shouting go. What will it do to you? Will it add or remove? Let each and every person go back and answer the questions for himself. The man and the woman and the boy, they've all gone now. They will be answering for themselves. The father cannot answer for the wife. Say, no worry, na me be husband. The wife cannot say, oh, go and ask my husband. He was a scholar. When Munkar and Nakir wake her up, man Rabbuki, she can't say, oh, my husband was a scholar. Ask him. Yes. لكل امرئ منهم يومئذ شأن يغنيه. The husband who is a scholar too has his own. The son too cannot say my papa na afa. No. The Prophet told that alayhi salatu salam to Fatima, ya Fatima, Salini Masih, ask me what you want now, because on the day of Qiyamah my papa na Nabi is not there. Ask me now. Do what you want now. Do what you should do now. We have life now. And you know what? Even when we human beings try to be unnecessarily high-handed and shoulder up, it is because there is life on our hands. Somebody died and was taken to a morgue, a mortuary. But we made sure they did not put her in the mortuary. So when we were giving birth to that thought, a woman, don't wonder, well, how is sister's name? It was my grandmother. So there was a lady that was birthing. The air was coiling, the recoil. But she was on the ground. And the water was flowing towards her. The water with which we were bathing a corpse was flowing towards her. She can't say me, Nami go do. No, that one is not there again. That younger is not there again. Ya ayyuhal insan, ma garraka bi rabbikal karim. When you make that younger to Allah, me I can't wear hijab, me I can't do this, me I can't do that, to Allah, ma garraka. What is that thing that is pushing you now, Ghana? What is it? What? Once when Allah takes the soul, the man is nothing. We put him on the, maybe he is sleeping on water bed. It is sand bed now. And that is the Naasir of all human beings. Rich and poor, old and young, man and woman. Professor or no professor. The time that we are going to leave the surface of this earth, may Allah make us live upon Iman. If we have 1, 2, 3 questions we should ask before we disperse. Although the mind is very heavy, but perhaps what we had said may require 1, 2 clarifications. Let's make it brief so that we can go quickly. And if person has assignments, go and think about these things. Allah make it easy for us. Life is just like that. Just go. When the time comes, it will never be postponed for a minute. Neither will it be brought back. May Allah make us enjoy. If there are no questions, ask. Alaykum salam. We don't know, or I don't know any such rules that the burial places of men and women should be separated. Because even during Salatul Janaza can be performed on both men and women. What you do is, you put the woman closer to the Qibla, followed by children, followed by men. So, but in terms of burial ground, say this place for women, this place for men. Doing that will require a proof, a hadith that will prove that we should do that. Allahu Alam. Can we now, alaykum salam. Alayhi salatu wassalam. Radiyallahu. It is not allowed to bury corpses inside the masjid. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, لا تجعلوا قبوركم مساجدا. Don't convert your graves to your mosques. That means don't also convert your mosques to graves. So it's not allowed to do it. We even curse the Jews. لعن الله اليهود والنصارى اتخذوا قبور أنبيائهم مساجد. The curse of Allah be upon the Jews and the Christians. The Prophet Muhammad said so, alayhi salatu wasalam. It was one of the last things he said while he was dying. And he said, لا تجعلوا قبري عيدا. Don't make my grave a place of celebration, or a place where you come and be visiting and making a joy. Don't make my grave like that. He cursed the Jews again, because they did that to their prophet. They turned the grave sites of their prophets to their worship places. So it's not allowed to bury corpses inside the masjid. It is haram. And the ulama say such salah are batil or batila when people perform salah inside the masjid. However, maybe the grave is in the qibla like this, and the imam is facing it. The salat is batil. Maybe at the middle of the night, like that, the salat is not also accepted. So, but regarding a corner in the side of the masjid, they say it is makruh to pray in such masjid. If it is outside, one corner somewhere, should avoid it. And the Muslim should try. It's one of the things that is not common in Yoruba communities. Yorubas don't like burying their dead in the graveyard. They bury them in their houses. The house that does not belong to him. Do you know that? Once you die, your house is not your own. But Yorubas have a culture of not making the children inherit those houses. Once you die, all those properties is transferred. You don't know? To the children. And those who are due for the inheritance of the man. Yoruba to say Orisun Baba Wani. What Orisun Baba Re? The earth is Orisun Tani. The earth belongs to who? To your father? To Allah. It's a culture amongst Yoruba. They don't like, and if the situation demands that they should sell the house and share the profit or the price, they will say no, they don't want to share it. They would rather leave it like that. This thing may not be solved by the day. It will need general education, and that education must start one day. When somebody dies, we should not say the person should be buried inside his house. They should bury him in the Muslim burial ground. That means we have to have burial grounds. And there are burial grounds now. I don't know whether we should go house now. But once you go after a burial there, as if you are going to there, you see one burial ground there. Burial ground for Muslims. Bury your corpse there. Don't bury your corpse inside the house, nor inside the masjid. It's not correct at all. The Prophet cursed those who do that. Curse. Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymeen. He said when the Prophet said alayhi salatu wasalam, لَعَنَ اللَّهُ الْيَهُودَ اتَّخَذُوا قُبُورَ أَنْبِيَائِهِمْ مَسَاجِدَ. That it could mean two things. لَعَنَ اللَّهُ الْيَهُودَ, that he is the one cursing them. May Allah curse the Jews and the Christians. Or he is informing us that Allah's curse is on them already because of what they did. The Prophet is either cursing them, or he is telling us that they have curse on them because of what they did. So let's not do it at all. May Allah forgive us. If you ask, if they have already done it, can they remove the corpses and take them to the burial ground? Yes. Yes, they can. If it is in the masjid or in the house, they can remove the corpses and take them to the burial grounds. If one is chance to meet someone in a dying state, what assistance can you render? For you to quietly and gently be telling him, La ilaha illallah. Say La ilaha illallah. But the ulama say, be careful when you are telling him to say La ilaha illallah. Because some of the people, like Shaykh Salih Fawzan and Fawzan said, he said some of the people, the pains of death will overcome them. When you tell him, say La ilaha illallah, he said, leave me, you are not saying, and that's how he will go. So when you want to tell them, he says, Lakkinu mawtakum, La ilaha illallah ko, Lakkinu, that is tell them to say, tell them in a nice manner. So that the man you want to help does not become wretched as a result. Forever. So when you are doing it, you say, this job, you have to be calm and notice his condition. If I tell him, how will he feel? If you see that if you tell him, he may feel so bad and reject it, don't tell him. You just be saying it. La ilaha illallah. You just be saying it. But when you see that he can accept what you say, then you tell him, say La ilaha illallah. But be careful when you do that. It's part of the things you can do to help that person. Part of what you can do also to help a dying person is to tell him good things. That we know you for goodness. You always read the Quran. You always read Hadith. You always come regularly to Khamsu Salawat. So he will have hope of meeting Allah. Because the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, the one who hopes to meet good with Allah while on the deathbed, while still afraid of the punishment of Allah, that good he is hoping to meet with Allah, Allah will give it to him. That punishment he is afraid of, Allah will remove it from him. But it has to be that he is hopeful and fearful. But what happens that because of pain, many people become fearful. Say, hey, now die be this you. How is that grave to be? So the mind is captured in fear. So that is the essence of telling them good things about themselves. That you were Umar radiallahu anhu when he was stabbed. Umar's injury was so severe that if he took milk, it came out from his stomach. Umar radiallahu anhu. He was stabbed by Abu Lu'lu'ko al-Majusi. After he had soaked the dagger in a poison for days. He didn't only dagger Umar, he daggered other companions while trying to run away. And they used a cloth to wrap him and get him. He was trying to run away. Anyone who went to him, he daggered him. Somebody came from behind and wrapped him with a cloth and they covered him all there. The point of reference was when Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma came to meet Umar radiallahu anhu, he started to tell him, good news for you, ya Abu Hafsin. You are the second caliph after the messenger alayhi salatu. You said some things by which Allah revealed some verses of the Quran. You did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. You know what Umar said? He said, I hope these good things will overweigh my sins. Umar, some of us are so arrogant with ourselves that today we think that we have done the whole good deeds in the world. Umar is still thinking that maybe I don't know how it will be. So it shows the extent of sadness in the mind of the person that is dying. So that's why you need to tell them good things that will give them hope. That don't worry, you don't need to be afraid. Allah has blessed you with this, you did so thing, you said so thing, you connect ties of kinship. Tell him things that will make him hopeful. There's an old man like that. He spent all his life in England as a lawyer. But now he is towards his end time. May Allah give him strength of Iman and the body and make him end well. When I saw him, I was told about him. I started telling him about the benefits of being an aged person. He told me recently, he said, he is always looking forward to the day that I will come to his house. Because you give him confidence, you give him hope. Ordinarily, elderly people will be afraid of their past. Say, Kai, when they remember some of what they had done, they say, Kai, we don't commit. So, you've not heard it before? I've heard elderly person saying it before. Say, Kai, we don't commit. People like that, you give them hope. That innal hasanati, you tell them positive things so that they be positive about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So those are some of the things that we can do to benefit the dead person. From that also, if you know he may have debt, write his debt, ask him, are you owing? Tell me who you are owing. There's a brother like that, alhamdulillah, is still alive. He had an accident, he had to do a surgery. The upper femur got broken. So they did a surgery. On the day of that surgery, he thought he would die. So he called myself and one brother. I said, I'm likely to die now. I said, don't be afraid. You may not also die. He said, okay. But listen to me. The brother was very confident. I said, you want to tell us something? He said, yes. I said, what are they? He said, go back and tell all my friends we graduated from the school. Those ones that I have offended, they should forgive me. I said, what else? You have debt? He said, no. He said, then tell my wife that she should take care of my wife, that she should take care of my children. I said, do you have anything again? He said, no. Hasbunallah ni'mal wakil. Brother, start preparing your mind now. All of us. I said, you have anything? He said, no. No debt, nothing. He said, no. No debt. No. I'm just waiting for the time. So I started telling him things that will make him happy. The brother is still alive now. When we talk about this moment, we laugh. I say, you say you are ready. Say, Naasir, I've made up my mind. That is how it is. The dying people make up their mind quickly. It is their family that will say, he quickly. The mu'min, once he sees that it's like it will end now, he will be thinking about what will benefit him there. So that I don't be asking, hey, your house, your car. Don't ask him that. Ask him his debt. Ask him who he has something to give. Ask him who he has offended. That is it. So things like this will benefit the dying person, inshallah. Is it allowed to recite Surah Al-Mulk for the deceased? I don't know any evidence that supports that. Can a Muslim lady follow the deceased to the grave to do the right or something? That is following dead bodies. Yes, the scholars are different. They have difference of opinion. Some say no, you can't. Some say you can't. There is a hadith of Salama radiallahu anha that they used, the hadith is in Sunan Abu Dawud, that they used to prohibit us from going. وَلَمْ يَكُونُوا يَعْزُمُوا عَلَيْنَا or something like this. But they did not used to compel us not to go. Ulama say it means basically the woman should not go, should not follow the corpse. But because but they did not used to compel us, it's evident that yes, she's not encouraged to go, but if she compels herself that I want to go, you cannot say don't go, because they did not used to compel us not to go. So this position appears correct. The woman is not encouraged to go, but if she forces herself that look, I want to go, then it is allowed for her to follow the dead to the graveyard. But she will not mix with men and things like that. And it is not allowed to be wailing and shouting when a person dies. You will be holding it. My brothers, it is difficult, but you'll be holding it. You'll be holding it. You hold yourself not to be wailing. Otherwise, you'll be wailing if you are not careful. May Allah protect us. So these are the things. The same thing, Salatul Janaza. It is not common in these communities. It's common in the north. But it's not common in these communities that women pray Salatul Janaza on the dead. It is Sunnah. The women can line up behind the men, just like we are praying like this. And you can actually take the dead corpse to them. And they pray. One of them will stand at the middle and leave the rest of them in Salah. Aisha did that, radiyallahu anha. Many times, it was a common practice amongst the early Muslims. So don't prevent women, because praying Janaza has some spiritual upliftment it gives to us. So don't prevent the women from that if they have the opportunity. And the women, all these shows that we all have to go and start learning these things. It came to my mind a lot. Today I've been thinking about so many things. We all have to learn these issues of how to take care of corpses. You know, when somebody dies, how do we take care of the dead Muslim, male or female? You know, things like this. Women should learn it, men should learn it too. Alaykum salam. Hey, big issue. We cannot see the dead. Can the dead see us? It's a serious issue. Part of that is, can they hear us? Sama'ul Amwat. I will just give us a summary of the response. They cannot see us and we cannot see them. Except their bodies, we are physical bodies. But their actual state, we can't. The Prophet was allowed, alayhi salatu wasalam, to see. And he told us that were it not that we will be avoiding to bury our corpse, we would have begged Allah for us to be seen. It means we cannot see. Do we understand the fact of that hadith? He said, were it, alayhi salatu wasalam, if it were not that we will be avoiding to bury our corpse, we would have begged Allah to make us see. What does that mean? It means that we cannot see. We cannot hear. That is the most correct opinion. We cannot hear the dead cannot hear us, except with an exception. The only thing the dead can hear from us are the flaps of our shoe when we go out of graveyard. Other than that, Allah says, إِنَّكَ لَا تُسْمِعُ الْمَوْتَى وَلَا تُسْمِعُ الدُّعَاءَ إِذَا وَلَّوْا مُدْبِرِينَ إِنَّكَ لَا تُسْمِعُ الْمَوْتَى. You, Muhammad, you cannot make a dead person to hear. Allah was using that vis-a-vis non-Muslims. That you, if you preach to them, you cannot force them, you cannot make them hear. So the ulama and Allah used the dead person. If a living can make a dead person to hear what he is saying, Allah would not use that as an example. Innaka la tusmi'ul mauta. You, Muhammad sallallahu, you cannot make a dead person to hear you. Means that a dead person cannot hear the living. And there's a hadith of Aisha about that. Also, the other exception to hearing was after the battle of Badr, when Allah gave a miracle to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, that those people amongst the mushrikun of Quraysh, Allah allowed the Prophet to address them. Say, oh Fulan, oh Umayya, oh so and so, هل وجدتم ما وعدتم ربكم حقا قد وجدت ما وعدني ربي حقا. Because I have seen in reality what my own Lord promised me, what Allah promised you. Have you seen it? That is the punishment that they will receive. Umar radiallahu anhu was asking the Prophet Muhammad that, are they hearing you? Why are you talking to the dead person? That is evidence that ordinarily the living cannot communicate with the dead. So Umar made that a why are you talking to somebody who is dead? If he had known that a dead person can hear a living, he wouldn't say that to the Prophet Muhammad. And the Prophet replied that فَإِنَّهُمْ الْآنَ يَسْمَعُونَ. How kama qala alayhi salatu wasalam. The Prophet said, now they are hearing, meaning that even though dead don't hear the living, these ones have been made to hear me, as it's in other versions of that hadith. That hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. So that is evidence that the living and the dead, bainana barzakhun, there is a barzakh between us. Another verse in the Quran that says that. So we cannot see the actual condition of the dead person, and the dead person too do not see us because they are disconnected. There's a barzakh between we and them. But as for hearing also, we cannot hear. Although there are some scholars amongst the scholars of Sunnah that believe that we can hear. This is an issue amongst the scholars. But the most correct opinion, and Allahu Alam, is that the living cannot hear the dead, and the dead cannot hear the living, based on those evidences we confer and give. Allahu Alam. Alaykum as-salam. Please, can Alaykum as-salam. What will be the condition of someone who was killed, but his murderer repented? Allah is laughing at the two of them. He laughs, he smiles at the two of them. Someone kills the other person, and they have on a war, battlefield with Muslims, legal, a valid Sharia battle, jihad, that is valid in the Sharia. And that is the jihad that is fought by a state, not jihad that is fought by a group of individuals who think they want to cause problems. State fight jihad in Islam, not individuals. You know what I mean by state? Government, not individuals. In any case, the Prophet mentioned alayhi salatu wasalam of two people. One was a mushrik, the other one was a mu'min. They fought in a battle. That mushrik killed the mu'min. He became a matayako. Later the mushrik became a mu'min and was also killed in the battlefield. So in al-hasanat yuzibna al-sayyat. Good deeds remove evil deeds. So if the person repents truly, Allah will forgive him. Allah will forgive him. That is his promise. Alaykum salam. To make it easy for you.